Okay, so tomorrow you have a test on scatterplot graphs and linear regressions and the correlation coefficient. So I want to look at an example with you that you will see on your test tomorrow. This is a chart of Clayton and his t-shirt printing business. It says the table shows the number of t-shirts Clayton has sold each year since starting his business in 2006. So we need to determine the least squares regression line, which, if you remember, where's that thing? Yeah. If you remember, the least squares regression can be called several things. We've called it the line of fit or best fit. We've just called it the linear regression. We've also called it the trend line. And you need to make sure you're familiar with all its different names, or you can call it the least squares regression. Okay, so hopefully the word regression reminds you of linear regression. So we're going to do that. We're going to interpret the situation in terms of the problem. So this just means we want to say what the x equals and what the y equals. And then we want to predict the number of t-shirts Clayton can sell in 2013. So if you want to see how well you'll do, you might want to pause the video for a minute, see if you can answer these 3 questions on your own, and then come back and check and check and see if your answers were correct. So take a minute, pause the video, find your least squares regression line, tell me what it means for x and y, and then predict the number of t-shirts he'll sell in 2014. Okay, so hopefully you remembered that you wanted to, first of all, start with these years as being year 0. And then 1 year has passed here, so that's year 1. And then that'd be year 2, and year 3, and then year 4, and then year 5, and then year 6. So we're going to take our data and put it in our stat and enter. I want to take a minute and make sure that all my numbers are put in correctly. Okay, now something's wrong. Oh, I just deleted that. Whoops. So I accidentally deleted 50, so I can do second insert, and then I can put 50 back in. Okay, so then like normal, we're going to go stat, calc, 4, enter, and then I have my least squares regression line, so I can just write that out right here. Y equals, let's see, A is 50, let's see, and then B is 21, we'll put 21.4. So we'll have 50x plus 21.4. Okay, and so in this case, my x is the years since 2006, and my y is the number, it's the number sign, of t-shirts. So now it asks me to predict for 2020. Well, we started in 2006, and that was year 0. So I have to figure out how many years have passed from 2020 to 2006. So I have 2020, and then I have 2006. So we want to find the distance between those years. So we'll do a little subtracting, and that gives me 14. So that's 14 years that have passed. So I want to use my equation here and figure out if x is 14 years, what would y be? So I'm just going to look at my equation. I have y, because that's the number of t-shirts, and then we have 50, and then x is going to be 14 plus 21, 14. So I can just take my calculator here And I'm going to go quit. Oops. Sorry, second, quit. All right, or I can just clear. And so we have 50, and then we want to know times 14 years plus 21.4, and that's going to give me 721.4 t-shirts. Okay, so I need to put y, oops. So I'm going to put y equals, what was that again? 721.4. 721.4. So then you would write a sentence. In 2020, 721.4 t-shirts will be sold. Okay, and that's it. So I want you to go ahead and try this next one for music sales. So if you're having trouble, go back in the video and watch how we've put the linear regression line in, defined x and y, and then we found the prediction for 2020. So we want to do the same thing here for music sales, and then we'll go over it when you come into class tomorrow, and then we'll have your test on this. Have a good night. Oh, and by the way, go Panthers! 5 in a row! Woohoo!